Hey there, it's Dave Duford at davidduford.com, where we help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance agents no matter what particular type of insurance that you sell. And in today's video, in this continuing interview series I'm doing with Stephen, we're going to discuss what you may think about doing if you're on the fence about potentially either cross-selling annuities into your existing lead system that you're already doing, or if you're considering about going into our preset annuity appointment program and you're just not quite sure. So listen to this interview, maybe take care of some objections or concerns you might have, and stick around afterwards for a little more details. Now, final question here for Stephen. For those agents sitting on the fence, wondering if they should stick their toe in the water to find out if annuities are for them, what suggestions would you have, and how should they get started?
The first suggestion I would have is to evaluate why you're sitting on the fence. I mean, there's probably a reason. There may be a little fear, maybe a little anxiety. It's the fear of something new. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of the difference. So what I would do if I was afraid of something, if I was concerned, I would find somebody to show me the way. And that's the first thing you do. Now, there's a lot of different ways to find somebody to show you the way. You can go with a regular IMO marketing organization, and you'll get some fella that'll show you product, talk you through, call you once or twice a week. That's fine. That's how I got started, so I got no complaint with that. But I found that there wasn't any connection. Having a connection with an experienced agent that knows what he's doing will instill in you the ability to do that. And one of the things I take great pride in myself is I try to get as invested and excited about the client that the new agent has as the agent is. So if you go out and find some business, that's great. Jeremy, he started off. He came in. We got him appointed. We got him contracted. From the time that he actually had the situation to the time that he put pen to paper was 2 weeks. From the 2 week start point to the time that he got to $500,000 is about 3 months. And realistically, he could do. I would be surprised if he doesn't do $1 million in his first 6 months. And $1 million is, for guys, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 worth of business that's going through annuity while he's doing final expense. Now, here's the exciting part. I'm a guy. Jeremy's actually in a position to make more money than me because he's got a crew of about 3 guys underneath him that are working final expense that are also looking for him, and they're interested. And is he in a better position? Yeah, he's got more eyeballs out into the community looking for. The more eyeballs, the more people you can see, the better off you are. He's better networked than I am. My system works just fine for me. That's about the level that I want to work. And I said, do I want to run a crew? Probably not. But would I like to work with people over the phone and get them motivated and excited and school them up? Yes, that I do like because I can do it from my estate. I live on 5 acres with a Labrador, and it's kind of fun to work with agents because they get so excited, and I can feel their enthusiasm coming through the phone, and it's really kind of nice to watch the whole process go through. So that's really how you get started. You take the first step, you make the phone call. First phone call is to David and say, hey, I'd like to do this, and he'll hook you up with me, and I'll talk to you for an hour or so, and I'll see if you're really interested and you want to move forward. Then we have a process that we go through to get started. But ideally, what I'd like you to do when you call is find some business. It's so much easier to talk to a guy who's found some business and say, Steve, can you help me with this? And now we're talking. And yes, can I help you with it? Absolutely. Look forward to it.
I think it's also important to add that one of the things I've always liked about Steve and working with him with the annuity side of the business, that you mentioned it from the get-go there, that the biggest problem in the insurance business is not access to carriers or stuff like that on the technical side. I think the biggest problem is having somebody that actually knows, based on in the trenches experience, what to do. We see this in final expense. There's a lot of organizations that recruit, God forbid if they have actually sold the first policy, they're marketers. And while they have their place, when you really need help, like specifically finding cases where this type of stuff makes sense, being able to formulate an offer to your client that is of benefit to them. You can't get that from a marketer, but you can get it from someone like Steven, who's actually out there producing himself, who's been doing it for years successfully, and can help you do the same. So I think that's an important point.
I hate to interrupt you, David, but just to chime in there, that's our relationship with you. I'm not an expert in final expense. I really don't have the time to learn all the carriers and go through the medications and everything else. When I come up on a final expense, I text Dave. I go, here's what I got. And you go, that's where you go. And I go, thanks. And that's it. But if I didn't have that in my corner, there's a lot of final expense that I wouldn't be writing. I wrote a Transamerica COPD, and he gave me the exact carrier to go to and quoted it exactly, and it took 5 minutes, and I'm pulling out the right paper. So I think everybody needs to be an expert in their field and then rely on people in the other ones to pick up the slack.
Absolutely. And that in the trenches, hands-on experience is so important in this business. It's what really bridges the gap between wanting to do this and actually putting it into action, like Jeremy has.
And work with the right people. I've watched David for a few years. I've always sensed that he was a straight up honest fella. I hope I come through the same way. We're very open and straightforward with the approach that we use and how we work with people and exactly what you can expect from us and what we'd like to see from you. We have no expectations from you, but what we'd like to see from you. And the great success for me is to have a fellow like Jeremy that went from just what's this to $1 million and that quickly. All I can say is I kind of pat myself on the back because somewhere in there I participated in that journey, and that's exciting for me.
Hey there, Dave back here. I do hope that you enjoyed that interview with Steven and getting more perspective on the annuity business. And if this is something you're interested, let me introduce to you, if you haven't heard already, our new annuity sales program that's available to new inexperienced agents. We have 2 different ways that we recruit and train agents in the annuity program. The first way is our preset appointment program. The process is fairly simple. We set you up with a cold calling telemarketer based in the USA who cold calls for your appointments, and you simply run the appointments on your own and then utilize our knowledge base to help you find annuity sales as well as potential final expense and Medicare supplement sales. It's very simple. You don't have to cold call. You just literally wake up, run 3 or 4 appointments a day, and witness the benefits of working in this particular type of environment, a very lucrative one at that. Alternatively, if you're already doing your lead program, maybe you sell something else entirely and you're quite happy with it, but you've always liked the idea of cross-selling annuities, we teach you how to do that without changing any elements to your existing lead program. We've had agents like Jeremy out of Wisconsin who works with us. He wrote $500,000 in annuity business within the first 90 days, all off of Facebook final expense lead. So it's something that definitely works no matter what kind of lead system that you work. Predominantly whom we work with most likely are going to be people working mortgage protection leads, final expense leads, and Medicare supplement leads, but pretty much any kind of lead system works as long as you're asking the kind of questions we'll teach you how to do. So here's how you learn more about the annuity program. Go to davidduford.com/contact. Send me a message, and I will send you an overview video of how the annuity program works that will go into detail about each program, costs, our expectations, and then answering some basic questions that most people have. And then if all is to your liking, you can set a consultation time within that appointment or within that video to speak with either myself or Steven about the process of moving forward to get you started. Once again, my name is David Duford at davidduford.com, or here on this YouTube channel, I help you become top producing insurance agents. Thank you for watching, and take care.